Well, a new and troubling link between cannabis and mental health. Children whose mothers used marijuana after the 5th or 6th week of pregnancy, they're more likely to develop disorders in early adolescence. This is all according to a new analysis. Joining us now for our mental health check, Dr. George James from the Council for Relationships. And Dr. James, this study says cannabis use by mothers was connected to issues like attention deficit disorder, aggressive behavior, and even rule-breaking behavior in kids. So with cannabis use growing, what do parents really need to think about before they light up?
One of the things I would like to say, especially for, pregnant women out there, is that we know that just about any substance while pregnant is not really helpful. And as much as possible, we know that there might be other circumstances, as much as possible not to use any substances because it can have that impact. I think what we've also seen is that the use of cannabis is just another example of something that can impact mental health, as well as so many other different variables. And if you're pregnant and you need ways to maybe stop using, there's ways that you can get help through your medical doctor, because we're seeing these profound impacts when we look later on in life.
Dr. James, another thing I want to ask you about is the impact of social media on teens. There seems to be so much more data we're learning day to day about really the impact of social media on all of us, but particularly a new study finds that a significant connection between Facebook and higher levels of anxiety and depression among college students. So what is your advice to young people who want to stay connected, but who are ultimately struggling with mental health issues right now?
In this study, it looked at the early days of Facebook and the impact that it can have with mental health. And we know that sometimes our young folks are not really using Facebook as much, but they are using social media, whether it be TikTok or Instagram or maybe something else. And we know that social comparison, with social media can also impact people. This thought of, I'm missing out, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not having enough likes, makes people feel less than. And the thing about social media is that it makes our world smaller, for good or for bad, and in terms of allowing us to recognize that sometimes we are seeing other people as better than us, and that makes us feel sometimes less.
All right, Dr. George James. Dr. James, thank you so much for joining us.